Hi, Chapter Master Timus here, and welcome to Kamen Check. Yusuke Godai, a 25-year-old man, becomes kamenriderkuuga in order to battle the terrifying Garangi tribe. Yusuke Godai, who has the blood type O, was born on March 18, 1975, in Hokkaido, Japan. His father died while working in Afghanistan when he was in the 6th grade. Tomasaburo Kazari, a friend of his father's, took care of Godai and his sister after his mother became gravely ill when he was 18 and passed away. When Godai saw Sakurako Saotari again after traveling Indonesia and Japan, his life was forever altered. While translating the aeroglyphs from the archaeological discoveries of an old tribe that Professor Natsume had provided to Sakurako, she informs Godai that opening the tomb will result in death. She calls the team to break the news, pretending it's just a joke, only to discover that their cries are the only sound coming through the phone. Godai spontaneously resolves to go to the dig site and, as he approaches the Garangi tribe tomb, is abruptly struck by a vision of the former Kuuga. He discovers the police in the vicinity conducting an investigation and makes an attempt to elude Detective Kaoru Ichijo in order to get a better look. He waits outside the wreckage after being turned away and observes the rescue crew haul out a peculiar belt that resembles the images he's been having. Subsequently, in the police station, he meets up with Ichijo and Sakurako to see a tape of the archaeologist being murdered by an unknown creature later termed to be Unidentified Lifeform 0, before being given the Arkle to interpret it for Unidentified Lifeform 0. The Garangi Shugman Ba, who are attacking the station, are encountered by the two as they are leaving, though. Godai collects his confidence and dons the Arkle to battle him, just as the visions had previously shown him, as the cops around him continue to be slaughtered. As a result of him assuming Kuuga's growing form and saving Ichijo from the Garangi, the belt fused onto him. Later, the detective recognized Godai, thanks to his distinctive thumbs-up call sign. After Godai awakens 11 hours later, Sakurako suggests they head back to Tokyo. However, she is cut off by Ichijo, who advises Godai not to engage in police matters and to visit Shuichi Tsubaki in Tokyo for a checkup. Later that evening, Godai defies Ichijo's orders and joins the battle against Shugomagu, only to lose to the more powerful foe and receive a reprimand from Ichijo. However, Godai's resolve to fight for the purpose of preventing human suffering was strengthened after witnessing the late Professor Natsume's daughter sob over the death of her father. As a result, Godai assumed mighty form and adopted the name Kuuga as he saved Ichijo from Goma and vanquished Men. Godai eventually wins over the police force by starting with Inspector Kaoru Ichijo and obtains the Tri-Chaser 2000 from Ichijo. Godai discovers that the Arkle's fusion onto him is more complicated because it had expanded vein-like connections into his muscular and nervous systems while being brought to Dr. Shuichi Tsubaki for a private checkup. Kuuga enters the dragon form during his first encounter with Tsubad's Ba and finally perfects it with Sakurako's assistance in order to defeat Bad's. Then, as Kuuga and Vijay's Ba engaged in combat, Kuuga took on the form of a Pegasus but was overcome by his heightened senses as Vijay's fled and vowed retaliation against Kuuga. Unable to change, Godai chooses to assist Ichijo by locating Mika Natsume, who is on the verge of committing suicide because the person responsible for her father's murder has not yet been apprehended. Vijay attacks after persuading Mika to let things work themselves out over time, and Godai successfully uses the strength of Pegasus form to eliminate the Garangi sharpshooter. After persuading Minori that everything will be well while dealing with Jiga, and Gi and Minori's unease over being Kuuga, Godai is able to transform into Titan form to destroy Jiga. Godai subsequently encounters Junichi Chono, a young guy who has given up on people and feels more at ease around unidentified life forms. However, when Kuuga saves the youngster before murdering the Garangi, his meeting with Byron Gi suggested differently. However, Godai saw the Garam being reawakened as it was unearthed and swirled to life to go towards him, giving him its power to combat Garito Gi. Godai subsequently survives being poisoned by Jinoga thanks to the Amadam's ability to neutralize the poison when shock therapy is used. This allows him to help the police kill Jinoga and later his clone. But ever since, Godai has started to experience numbing pain throughout his subsequent fights as Kuuga against the more powerful Garangi. He discovers that it might be connected to a bigger power that might be required because he is confident that a stronger Garangi will eventually surface. After working with Enakita to develop the Golden Power, Godai's conflict with the elevated Go Garima Ba results in the creation of Rising Titan, an improved variant of Kuuga's Titan form. Godai learns that the Arkle had fused even more tightly into his flesh during the subsequent two battles, enabling him to transform into Rising Pegasus and Rising Dragon. After recovering from Go Ri's injury, Godai meets Chono, who has become an artist since their previous meeting. After killing the Garangi once he has attained Rising Mighty, Godai unintentionally causes widespread destruction. Due to the incident, Kuuga would not receive the Beat Chaser 2000 when the Go Bad Ba finally started to play, saving Kuuga as his last victim. Godai is helped by Sugita in finding Bad until Ichijo arrives with the beat chaser, allowing Kuuga to destroy Bad, while Ichijo persuades his fellow officers. However, the encounter with the cruel Go-Jilajida has a negative impact on Godai's actions, leading him to unconsciously become Kuuga's ultimate form as he brutally murders the Garangi out of wrath. Godai later visits Enakita to learn more about how he is able to transform common objects into weapons like the Go-Garangi before pursuing Go-Zazalu-Ba when she faced an evolving Goma out of concern that two Garangi fighting each other was a very bad omen. This situation gets worse when Godai discovers that the Kuuga figure is actually an incomplete Garangi character and may be connected to number 0, who was eventually revealed to be the Garangi Lord Naguva Zeba when he arrived to kill Goma before traveling to Tokyo for the endgame. Sakurako properly translated the Rinto text and the Garangi characters on it, revealing Godai's mental health during the event with Jilaji while knowing that he'll be fine as long as he doesn't fight out of hatred, which validated Godai's suspicions about their relationship. Godai departs as Gojzagi moves after learning from Enakita that the Garangi might also possess the same form-changing ability as the Kuuga. Before killing Jza in the subsequent battle, Kuuga senses Dugva during a botched attempt to capture her and gets wounded when his guard was down. Godai arrives at the 12 Arikawa group flute competition after a brush with Dugva and a hostage situation is resolved, leaving Mika shaken by the experience. This is followed by a post-discussion on the recent Garangi/Kuuga links following the death of Go Babelda. Godai advises Mika not to flee even if things get tense as he walks her to the train that will take her home. Kuuga is overpowered by the Go-Garangi's capacity to take on shapes resembling his own during the battle with the last of the Go-Garangi, Go-Gadol-Ba. Godai, who has been severely hurt as a result, is taken to the hospital where, following a discussion about ethics, Tsubaki decides to provide electrotherapy after his heart stopped working. By the time Godai leaves the hospital, Gadol is already engaged in a battle with La Doldogu in the stadium. However, Kuuga is shown to have obtained the dark-armored Kuuga Amazing Mighty form in the next fight, which enabled him to triumph over Gadol. Dugva performs the ultimate darkness since he is the only winner of the Garangi game after his brothers are all killed. Dugva kills 30,000 people in one instant, easily defeating Kuuga's Amazing Mighty and breaking the Amatum. Yuk is spared by Dugva, who believes he can now achieve ultimate form and is ready for a rematch. Godai meets his pals one by one in preparation knowing he must take on his final form, Sakurako being the only one to understand his goals. A short while later, Dugva strikes, telling Godai to meet him at Mount Kuro. Now that he is prepared, Godai asks Ichijo to destroy his injured Amatum in the event that he loses control before using all of his strength. Godai battles Dugva in a blizzard while successfully assuming Kuuga ultimate form, Red Eyes, demonstrating their equal might. Kuuga and Dugva's Amadum suffer severe damage throughout the battle, preventing them from transforming. Godai and Dugva resume their struggle in human form without giving ground, coughing up blood with each blow. As a result of his predicament, Yusuke sobs, but Dugva laughs hysterically and thoroughly enjoys himself. Godai narrowly defeats Dugva before collapsing from weariness, much to Ichijo's dismay and anxiety. Godai has started a new journey to traverse the world 3 months after the final fight. He starts at a beach in Cuba where he assists several kids before leaving. After his series came to a close, he was confident in his ability to master ultimate form and even use his extra final form, Rising Ultimate. If you like my content, consider giving a like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. If you have any suggestions on what TV shows or movies about tokusatsu, mecha, or kaiju, leave a comment down below. I would like to hear your thoughts. This is your boy Chapter Master Timus and I'll see you around.